After I lost sight, my boyfriend asked his friend to pretend him because he thought I was too clingy. But when I nestled in his friend's arms, he regretted it. Maeve, you've got the wrong person. The one who's your boyfriend, Benedict. He reached out and took my hand. I quickly shook him off, stepping back in disgust and retreating into his friend's arms. Benny, your friend is such a joker. How could I not recognize my own boyfriend? By now, Benedict was utterly panicked. 2 months after losing my sight in a car accident, I overheard my boyfriend, Benedict Radcliffe, talking to someone. Maeve is way too clingy. Ever since she went blind, she insists on doing everything together. She's driving me nuts. So I had Benjamin step in and take care of her for a few days. She hasn't suspected a thing. Benjamin Peralta was his close friend. I pretended I hadn't heard anything and left quietly. When I returned home, Benjamin gently hugged me from behind. Where have you been, babe? I missed you so much. When I heard Benedict's voice, I even wondered if I was hearing things. He seemed to be hanging out with his friends. While they were talking, someone mentioned my name. Ben, Maeve is blind now. Are you really okay with leaving her home all by herself? Someone asked. What choice do I have? Benedict sounded a little irritated. She's just too clingy. Ever since she lost her sight, I've been stuck taking care of her. Even if I step away for a moment, she cries nonstop. It's so annoying. The others started teasing him. That just means she likes you too much. She can't live without you. Now that she can't see, of course, she's going to cling to you even more. Benedict snorted, his tone arrogant. Still, I can't just let her have her way. So I had Benjamin step in and take care of her for a few days. She hasn't suspected a thing. It's for the best. I can finally have some peace and quiet. Benjamin? Someone exclaimed. That rich heir actually agreed to it? Benjamin's the only one who has a build and voice similar to mine. Benedict replied. I had to beg him for a long time before he finally agreed. And I even accepted his one condition. And what is that? He didn't say. He just told me he'd bring it up when the time comes. Benedict paused, then said nonchalantly, given his status, we'd be the ones asking for a favor. So I'm sure he wouldn't make any unreasonable demands. We're best friends, after all. After a moment, someone spoke again. What if? Maeve finds out. Benedict let out a dismissive laugh. Benjamin won't let it happen. Besides, she's stupid and blind. How could she possibly notice? Even if she does, all I have to do is say a few sweet words. She loves me so much, and there's no way she'd leave me. Another round of laughter followed. When it grew quiet again, a woman's voice rang out. All right, enough with this boring topic. Aren't you guys here to celebrate my return? Stop ruining the mood. I recognized that voice. It belonged to Amelia Simmons, Benedict's childhood sweetheart. She was also the only girl in their circle. Got it, princess? Benedict said dotingly. There's a new designer collection at the jewelry store. Pick whatever you like, and I'll pay for it. Amelia's voice was syrupy. That's more like it. The others started teasing them. It was clear they were all used to seeing how close Amelia and Benedict were. Come on, Amy! Stop messing with Ben, one of them said. You went abroad yourself, then came back on your own. Due to that phone call of yours, he ended up in a car accident. Now, he's even ditched his girlfriend to stay with you. Stop being mad at him, okay? I stood outside the door, shivering uncontrollably. When Benedict and I first started dating, I felt Amelia's hostility toward me. However, I didn't care. I didn't like her either, and I had no intention of forcing my way into their circle. That was until 2 months ago, when I fell sick with a fever. Instead of attending Amelia's perfectly planned birthday party, Benedict stayed by my side. She threw a huge tantrum and secretly went abroad to clear her head. Benedict was worried about her the entire time, afraid something might happen to her while she was all alone in a foreign country. On the day of the accident, Benedict drove me to work as usual. He answered a call while driving, and the car lost control before crashing into the roadside barrier. I hit my head, and the swelling pressed on my optic nerve, causing temporary blindness that I still hadn't fully recovered from. It turned out Amelia had been the one calling him. While I was lost in thought, Amelia spoke up again, annoyed. Serves him right? Who told him to ditch his friends for a girl? He even skipped my birthday party. Someone else tried to smooth things over. Ben didn't mean to stand you up, his girlfriend was sick. Remember? Amelia scoffed. Who knows if she was really sick, or just pretending. I could tell ages ago that your girlfriend never liked me. She knows she can't compare to the bond we've shared since childhood, and she's just insecure. She wasn't sick before, or after. She just happened to be sick on my birthday, and kept you from leaving. It was obviously to get under my skin. Only clueless guys like you can't see through her tricks. She sounded confident. We grew up together. Even if there had been the tiniest spark between us, Maeve wouldn't stand a chance. Benedict, you know I'm not someone who just takes things lying down, but for your sake, I've put up with a lot from Maeve. You'd better make it up to me, or don't expect me to forgive you. Since they had always pampered Amelia, Benedict went along with it. Of course, whatever you say. From now on, my time is all yours. I'll do whatever you want. That's more like it. I stood by the door for a while. Eventually, a staff member walked over and placed a velvet box into my hand. Miss Kinsey, your custom couple rings are ready. Do you need anything else? I stayed silent for a moment, then put the box into my bag. No, thank you. I left calmly, as if I hadn't overheard their conversation. When I returned home, it was quiet all around. I felt my way to the shoe cabinet and opened it, getting ready to change out of my shoes. All of a sudden, Benjamin wrapped his arms around my waist, gently hugging me from behind. His warm breath brushed against my neck, and his deep, magnetic voice sounded by my ears. Where have you been? Babe, I missed you so much. My body stiffened for a moment, before returning to normal. I was at the hospital for a follow-up today. His breathing hitched for a moment. He wrapped an arm around my shoulders, and turned me around to face him. Why didn't you tell me? We agreed I'd go with you. What if you hurt yourself while alone? As he spoke, he started checking me for injuries. I smiled and caught his slightly flustered hands. I'm fine. The driver gave me a ride. Also, I want to get used to going out on my own. I've been blind for a while now, but I haven't gone out alone even once. Perhaps he understood I was playfully trying to comfort him, and he finally relaxed. What did the doctor say? I shook my head. I don't seem to be recovering fast. He cupped my face with his large hands, then placed a gentle kiss on my brow. Don't worry. With me here, you'll recover in no time. In truth, I'd been lying. The swelling in my brain had mostly gone away. My vision hadn't fully recovered, but I could at least make out some blurry outlines. I watched as Benjamin bent down to open the shoe cabinet, then took out a pair of bunny ear slippers. He knelt before me, holding my ankle as he helped me slip them on. My vision was hazy and doubled, but for some reason, when his fingers slowly brushed over my ankle bone, I sensed a trace of almost obsessive devotion hidden in that faintly trembling touch. I wasn't actually familiar with Benjamin. I only knew he came from an elite family and had powerful backing. Even Benedict, self-centered as he was, And always calling Benjamin his best friend, was careful around him, and made an effort to stay in his good graces. Before this, I barely interacted with Benjamin. We'd only seen each other at a few gatherings. He always sat in a dim corner, turning down anyone who tried to approach him. He was cold and quiet, completely unapproachable. But whenever I turned my head, our eyes would always meet. His deep, dark eyes concealed his emotions, like a predator lurking in the shadows, locked onto its target. Instead of looking away whenever I caught him, he'd continue staring. I figured he probably didn't like me, and I tried not to care. It seemed like I had been wrong. After changing my shoes, Benjamin lifted me up by the waist. His build was indeed very similar to Benedict's, but if I paid attention, he was a little taller, and his arms were much stronger. He set me down on the couch, bracing his hands on either side of my thighs, then leaned down and kissed my cheek. Are you hungry? What do you want to eat? I thought for a moment. Buffalo wings. Okay, Benjamin answered. He turned on the TV and switched the music channel before heading into the kitchen. We had a housekeeper, but whenever he was home, he'd do the cooking. I should have noticed it sooner. At first, I noticed his voice sounded a little different, but he brushed it off by saying he had a cold. I didn't question it, but Benedict had never been a considerate person, and he never stepped into the kitchen. When I was hospitalized after the accident, he often disappeared without a trace. But ever since I was discharged and returned home, he'd been by my side. After losing my sight, I had felt insecure. He held me every night until I fell asleep, staying by my bedside. He wiped my tears away whenever I woke from nightmares. He took care of everything on his own, from feeding me to doing my laundry. He followed me around wherever I went. Even when I used the bathroom, he'd wait outside, afraid I might get hurt. He always kissed me while calling me babe. But in the 6 months I'd been with Benedict, he never once called me that. He only ever called me by my name. I thought he had changed, or that he was trying to help me cope with my blindness. In truth, Benedict had replaced himself with Benjamin,